So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the lab today because we're not playing a game, we're unboxing this. Anybody who follows me on social media knows exactly what is in this box, and if you don't know what is in this box, I think it's time to find out. Hello up there, camera angle number 2. So, I'm opening this box upside down because it has my address on the other side, and I also want to trigger at least 50% of the internet and get everybody mad at me. So, this is the upside down of the box. Let's slice this wonderful Amazon paper here. For those of you who are like, Amazon are an evil corporation and you shouldn't partake in Prime Day, today is Prime Day. It was ordered before Prime Day. All the people who think I'm an idiot, you're probably right. Although it did occur to me today in the Prime Day sale, I could have bought a PSVR for the price of this. It is the Oculus Go. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just... So, yes, this is the Oculus Go, the standalone virtual reality headset from Oculus. So, 64 gig model. Purely because as a content creator, I figure I'm going to need the storage space for things like videos and stuff like that. So let's rip open this glorious packaging. I'm liking the box. It's got a nice box. It's got a good weighty feel to it. That is for darn sure. What we've got on the top. So we've got Netflix, the Body VR, Sing Space, Coaster Combat. That's one I want to try out if that's available to me. We've got Jurassic World. I've already done Blue. Quite impressed. I've done the other one, but I didn't really record it. Ultra Wings, never really played that. Facebook, don't really care. Wands, I played that one quite briefly. Rush, flying around in a wingsuit, sounds like Vomit Comet situation to me, but that's okay. And then Ocean Rift. So that is... the thing, this box it's quite weighty, it's quite padded, so that's a nice touch. Good, solid, sturdy. We've got a high resolution display, 3D built-in immersive audio. Why don't everybody use the headphones if it's got built-in audio? Movies with friends, 360 videos and photos, and live events and concerts. I wonder if Facebook will be hosting those. In the box, we have one VR headset, one controller, AA battery, not plural, and a USB cable. Yes, it was recently brought to my attention that for my whopping £250, this thing doesn't actually come with a charger. Go figure. But this is the box itself. It is very, very nicely packaged. So let's start from the back and work our way forward. We have the headset itself, of course. Yeah, the controller. Very nice. A lanyard. Probably. What's this? This is a eyeglass spacer. Probably won't use that. Maybe I will use it. Just leave the spacer in there. A USB cable, which one can only assume is the contents of this box. We've got a little wipey thing. A manual that will never see the light of day again. And a USB cable, of which... Do you know, I don't know if I have any of these left. My phone all uses like USB-C Type-C cables now. I expected this to have a quick charge feature and a quick charging plug with it. So, I don't know. Maybe Oculus are dropping the ball. Oh, there's the lanyard. I'm assuming that's for the controller. And then a cheap... Mitsubishi battery. We've got the Oculus controller. That is tiny, but incredibly usable. So I'm okay with this. How do we get into you? Do you twist? Do you pull? You pull. That's where we can put the lanyard on. Right, so that is the Oculus remote all dealt with as well. Now the moment of truth. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I love the smell of new VR in the morning. Grab your phone to get started. Download the Oculus app on your mobile to set up the headset. So that's the other thing. I don't think it has its own sort of UI. You have to do everything in the phone. Now, I downloaded that months ago because I thought it would be like Steam, where you could just buy games on the mobile and then download them when you got home. Not the case. But that is not my problem. So we have this sexy elasticated strap. Now, I know I am a massive headed wanker, so let's stretch this out as far as humanly possible. And there we go. Let's slide it into... Ooh, that is a sexy feeling. Oh, and it's still got that new VR smell. That is nice. It feels a little weighted down on the old cheekage, but that is easily sorted with this here. I think we're good. The gap isn't as big as what it is on the Rift. It does sit a bit more comfortably. This is a nice feature right here. I've bought the VR cover for the Oculus Rift. So all of this around here is foam padding, which is very, very nice. Whereas the likes of the Rift, where it's actually got a plastic outside with then just a little bit of foam. So that is very user-friendly. That is going to fit to a lot more faces. And then we have a power button in the middle. Looks like a microphone at the bottom right here. And the headphone and charging socket. What do you say? Shall we stick this bad boy on and see what we can do with it? I think I did it. I wonder if it's got a sensor like the Rift, so it won't actually power on unless it is on your face. Hey, there we go. Ooh. That is a nice display. That is a very nice display. I hear frickin' noise. Where is that noise coming from? Where? How do I have sound? This is witchcraft. I think it's actually coming out of this plastic side here, which could mean that we do get like audio bleed to those around me. Jesus, this is an amazing display. Oh, hello. We have volume control. I'm controlling this. This is a very, very, very nice display. So if I press the... That doesn't track as well as... Because this should be all the way to the left. But it's not tracking as well. Oh, that's tracking way better now. It's only angling though. It's not... So it's not actually tracking this as such. As it's just like linked. So I think I need to do more with my phone. Grab your phone to get started. So let me do this now. But first impressions, that display is absolutely fantastic. With my Rift, no matter what I seem to do, I always seem to have like a line down the middle. Whereas because this is just one solid display, rather than two panels, it's just one decent solid picture. Now, it does mean those with a weird IPD are going to have problems, but that's just, it's one of those things. It's gone, by the looks of things, it goes to the natural 64 IPD, which is what the majority of the population is. But not everybody in the world has got exactly the same, interpupillary distance. So, some people, their eyes are slightly wider apart, and that is going to mess with them. But this is what I've got right here. So, welcome to Oculus. Can this... I don't know if this can see this or not. Don't have a headset. Explore the app. So, let's start now. Press and hold the power button until the light turns on. So, that's on. Plug in your Oculus Go. Let's say I did. So this is now searching for my Go. Oculus Go has been found. Okay, pairing your phone and headset. Searching for Wi-Fi networks. So I'm assuming this is now taking my Wi-Fi information from my phone. It is not. Let's grab my Wi-Fi network. It needs the password. Cock. Put the battery in the controller. Spoiler alert, already done it. So, put the battery into the controller. Done that one. Which hand do you want to use the controller? Right. Avoid damaging your lenses, how to use the Oculus Go with glasses, attach the lanyard to controller, and how to care for your Oculus Go. Here's a thing. Don't be a dick. Okay, it wants me to watch a health and safety video. Skip to the end. Is there sound to this? Oh, there is. Read the safety manual. Be aware of and clear your surroundings. Choose appropriate content. Right, so don't stab a fan with your hand. That makes sense. Basic VR shit that everybody ignores and chooses to smash their hands into, I don't know, a wardrobe or a wall whilst playing. Go on.
Eek. That's not gone well.
Okay. That's it. Acknowledge the health and safety warning. So now I can't sue them if I fuck up. And there we go. The Oculus Go is set up and running. Okay, so I have had the Go for a little while now, and I have been sort of testing it, trying it out with certain things, and this is what I've come up with so far. So this front face here is actually not plastic as far as I can tell. I believe it may actually be metal. And the reason behind this is because I think this is acting as a heatsink to cool the unit. And when you are doing things that are very, very taxing on the unit, this can get quite warm. I've even seen notices of people who have actually been using the Rift and had a warning in the headset telling them to take it off. It is getting too hot. So it has that one drawback. Also, I was playing a game called Epic Roller Coaster, I believe, and in this game, you can sit on a roller coaster and you go around. Honestly, people who think roller coasters are the way forward in virtual reality, they're honestly not. What you expect when you have a roller coaster video is this.
No.
What you actually get when you play a roller coaster game in virtual reality is birds. It's just not the experience you think it's going to be. Everybody's seen the Russian dude in a mall just shit himself when he stood there in the DK1. It's not how it happens. The roller coasters aren't great. But I was playing this roller coaster game, and it's kind of like Scale-Electric, where you get to control the speed of the coaster. You have to go around corners, and you have to get through the roller coaster as fast as you possibly can. Now, me being me, I was just all speed all the time, and I kept coming off the track. And I got to one point where I just couldn't. You had to leave the track, get your speed right, and land back on the track. And I always went too fast. And after about 4 or 5 attempts at doing this, the headset got really, really hot. The frame rate just started chugging, and then it just shit the bed. Didn't like it at all. Spat me back to the home menu, and I had to give it 2 minutes just to catch its breath. Not had any other real issues along those lines. I did play another game called Wax that I'm going to be doing a video for after this one. It's limited. You aren't going to get the performance out of this, what you're going to get out of this. But this could, well, the cost of this, I could buy 10 of these. So, is that 10 times better than this? No. No frickin' way is it 10 times better than this. So this middle strap here, this is what sits on top of your head. When you're not wearing the headset, you let go of it, and it sinks down over here. Now, inside the Oculus Go, you can see at the top that small little pebble, and that turns the unit on when it detects your face. Fantastic feature. It'll stop you wearing your battery down. Apart from the fact that when you put that down there, it picks this up. So then I put my Go on the bed the other day just to download some games, and the strap fell down in front of the sensor, came back to it like an hour later, battery was just flat, gone. So I couldn't use it, I had to recharge it again. Which actually brings me on to the next thing. So the battery on the Go is not massive. It isn't. You are only going to get around 2.5 hours out of this thing, depending on what you're doing. Now, that said, I honestly don't know if I've been in virtual reality. No, I have. I've played Elite Dangerous for like 4.5 hours straight. But it's not uncommon to turn it off after a few hours. So putting it on charge during that period, it's not a problem. If you're passing it around friends or family, then the battery life might be a bit short. Things might get cut a bit short, but there's ways around that. They do not recommend that you charge it whilst using it. Now, that's something else that you need to think about. Basically, it could just be, don't charge it while you use it, because if it explodes, it's going to blind you, and we are not responsible. We told you not to charge it while you're using it. Or it's another thing that when you're charging it and using it, it starts to get really, really hot, and it just it kills itself. So be wary of that. But I have heard of success stories of people using portable battery packs to extend the life of the Rift. I'm never going to stop calling this a Rift. They use the portable battery packs to extend the battery of the Go, and that reportedly works perfectly fine. So there are ways around it without having to constantly have to charge it. So yeah, that is pretty much most of the negative things. The speakers I have now officially decided are in this strap right here. I think I can see them. I think it's this black slit here. They are very, very good. They are the kind of speakers that you can sit there and happily use this. However, people around you are going to hear what is going on in the headset. Now, it does have a headphone socket on the side, and the reason that I have seen people using the headphone socket rather than using the built-in speakers, aside from the audio bleed, is the fact that when you want to record videos on the Go, it's just non-existent. So you've got a built-in video recorder, which is great. It records one eye, it records it very, very well. But it doesn't record audio. So then you end up with a solution like this, where you have this going into the Go, this going out to the headphones, and then one of these going out to a third device that is taking the sound and using that. Which can be a little bit of a pain to stitch if you are less experienced, or if you don't have a good jumping off point where you can be like, right, that is a definite sound right there. So that can be a pain in the so that is what I can think of sort of negative points around the Go. The other side of the coin is now the positive. It is super, super light. Now, I have found it has sort of made me a little bit tender on the cheeks, but that is probably because of the way I have it set up. I do like to have my headsets quite tight. It increases the field of view and generally gives me a better experience. It's, apart from being light, it has a voice search feature, so you can use it somewhat like the Google Assistant and say, Oculus, show me pictures of boobs. No, nothing. So it has got that function. This is quite funky. The range of things that you can do in the Oculus Go is absolutely astounding. I've been playing with it for a week and I've barely scratched the surface. Mostly because of everything I've got, I'm just like, ooh, I could make a video out of that. I could make a video out of that. Ooh, I can make a video out of that. As much of a nightmare as it is. Other than that, the Oculus Go is a pretty solid headset. I quite happily want to show it off. I had a look at things like Star Wars, the Droid Repair Bay. Now, whilst you don't get the same stellar AAA sort of experience you do get out of a Rift, as far as graphics go, you still get the full experience. You can still interact with it in most of the ways that you can With the Rift, you get the touch controller, so you can do things with your hands. You can grab and twist and pull things. Whereas this, it's just point, 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 point. But you still get to have the fun of this repair bay, which is a fantastic little thing just to show off to your friends. And I watched Henry on here last night for the very first time on the go, and I have got to say I am massively, massively impressed. I also watched the Jurassic Park Blue, and I think the blacks on the go are much better than what they are on the Rift, and that does make video a lot better to look at. You can do 360 videos on YouTube on this because it has its own built-in browser, whereas in the Rift it seems to be a bit more of a pain in the arse. And ultimately it is just a very pleasant, quick, cheerful way of getting into virtual reality without having to fire this up, load this up, download it. You just, like, if I wanted to go, I found myself at night before bed just being like, and sitting in bed and just playing VR for sort of 10 minutes. So I, you know, stuck some guided meditation on last night, and my wife was like, "You're listening to David Attenborough?" I was like, "Yeah, I am." So yeah, that's something else that you can do. But that's it. So that is sort of my first impressions of the Oculus Go. Is it worth the £250 price tag? Absolutely. I have not managed to find a mobile phone counterpart that does a better job. And with that, you've got the shell out of the mobile phone. Admittedly, most people already have the mobile phone. The headsets that you get to put them into, they're a pain in the arse. Your phone slips, your battery dies in 2 minutes, and this is just a perfect all-in-one. Slap it on your face, have a blast sort of thing. And the things that you can get for it, they're better than what you would think. So that's a pretty, you know, thumbs up. The doctor prescribes the Oculus Go to everybody who is willing to watch, because it is worth your time and money. That is my sort of quick playthrough rundown mess about with the Oculus Go. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you want to see more from the Oculus Go, the Oculus Rift, or just have a general chat around the world of VR, let me know in the comments, and the doctor's out.